Welcome along to Racing to Win, Hong Kong Racing's twice weekly preview show. We've got you covered for everything coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon. It's TVB race day and we do have an 11 race program. Great to have your company here on the show. I'm Tom Wood, joined by Paul Lally and Nick Child in the studio. And to Nick, the TVB Cup, the main event, a good quality sprinting affair.
Yeah, it certainly is. No, it's a really good looking race. This obviously not a huge field, but a really good quality one at that. And well, Raging Blizzard, he's bidding to make it 3 on the bounce, and he looks a pretty strong chance of doing so, Tom.
Certainly does. There's quite a few first starters coming up, Paul, but what about jackpots for the weekend?
Yeah, just the one jackpot. It's coming into the 5th double trio, so 2 million going into the pool there, so that should get over the 12 million mark. So it's a decent sort of prize pool there if you want to have a good crack at that one. It's the 5th double trio.
Indeed, we'll have a look at race number 8 here on the show, but there's also plenty more coming up. The best bet's the last run reminder coming up later on through the program. But this is what we've got coming up for meeting number 44. It's officially the halfway mark of the Hong Kong racing season, and we are previewing the TVB Cup race number 8 at 4:05, a Class 1 race over the 1,200 metres here on the main show of Racing to Win. Of course, all races previewed on the website, that is hkjc.com. But on Friday morning, Hong Kong time, a new trainer was announced to the training ranks here for next season. It is Brett Crawford, coming out of South Africa, one of South Africa's most decorated trainers with nearly 1,500 wins next to his name and 38 Group 1 winners. We hear more from him. He spoke to Nick this morning at Sha Tin.
Brett Crawford, lovely to see you here in Hong Kong. You've been announced as the latest trainer to join the ranks here at Sha Tin and both Happy Valley, of course. And well, first of all, I mean, first impressions, I imagine you're delighted to be here.
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, like I said, it's a privilege for me to be granted a license, an opportunity, something that's been on the radar for quite a while for me. So very, very grateful, very pleased, and looking forward to the challenges ahead.
Brett, Hong Kong has always had a great association with South Africa. We'll touch on that a little bit in due course as well, with the transportation of horses, etc. But to go back down sort of through the years, the likes of David Ferraris, Tony Millard is a man I know that you know really well also. There's always been that great association with South Africa.
Yeah, you know, I can remember I think the very first horse that actually came here, London News, won with Dougie White aboard, and you know, after that Dougie went on to be extremely successful jockey here in Hong Kong, and obviously doing exceptionally well in the training ranks. So, as you say, there's a long association. It's been a little bit troubled in a few years due to export protocols, but hopefully that's changed and behind us now, and looking forward to the future ahead.
Talking of looking forward to the future, I mean, obviously with that in mind, given the exportation of horses now to be able to come to Hong Kong, how much is that an avenue that you're looking forward to exploring? Because obviously you're very well connected, you've been extremely successful in your native South Africa, so I guess that's something you're certainly going to want to explore quite extensively.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to bring a new dimension to Hong Kong racing. You know, firstly from just a cost-effective opportunity. You know, I think you can buy really nice horses at home, and as I say, you know, the shortened quarantine for me is a win, because in the past, you know, the rigorous that the horses were put through 6 months of quarantine, young horses in the prime of their careers, it's not easy. So you know, I think the horse that won the other day, midwinter, he's a prime example of that. I think he left South Africa in mid-September. He arrived in Hong Kong in October, end of October, and he raced at the end of January. So, you know, it's a big difference. So I think that's a really positive thing for Hong Kong and for South Africa.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see some lovely horses coming this way. Let's talk about you, though, in your career and what you've achieved so far, obviously, from horses like Angus, Jackson and Oriental Charm more recently. You've dealt with some very, very good horses, some wonderful memories back in South Africa.
Yeah, very much so. You know, I've been very blessed in my career to be afforded to have trained the Group 1 horses that I've had. You know, we've won multiple Group 1s over all the provinces in South Africa. So, you know, at the end of the day, those horses actually teach you a lot. So for me, you know, we've had 38 Group 1 winners. And as you say, you know, the proudest achievement was winning the Julys back-to-back with my son. So it's been a great ride.
James now, of course, will take the reins back in South Africa. I guess there's also a nice connection there. Should there be obviously a need to prepare horses for Hong Kong?
Yeah, look, obviously that just gives us another another bow to our string. We'd be able to offer that type of service that James could get horses going and to see whether they're good enough to get to Hong Kong. So I think it's exciting times ahead for him and myself.
I know it's early days, Brett. I mean, we're obviously here at Sha Tin today, and obviously you've had a very good look around both here and at Chung Fa, which I'm sure you'd like to obviously, as you said, get to sooner rather than later. What do you envisage will be the sort of the biggest differences, maybe challenges that you see coming to Hong Kong?
I think from what I can see, I think it's quite a tough environment for a horse. I think you have to keep horses pretty happy here and focused on what they're doing. So I think keep them sound, keep them happy, and obviously I've still got a lot to learn, I think, and just keep my eyes wide open, take in everything. But I think it's going to be a great challenge, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It's sort of a little bit like Friends Reunited too, isn't it? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Karis Teeton is a man that you obviously teamed up with plenty of success back in South Africa, and I imagine you'll be trying to use him as much as you can as well, given that you've got that friendship already.
Yeah, look, he's done an outstanding job since being in Hong Kong. He's been pretty much in the top 4 for most of the time that he's been riding here. He's a natural lightweight, which I think is a huge bonus, a very strong rider. So, yeah, obviously definitely looking forward to teaming up with him. So, yeah, hopefully we can bring back some good memories.
And Brett, just finally, what does the road ahead look like from now until obviously start time? What are the logistics and what is the plan sort of going forward? And sort of when do you start here in Hong Kong, etc.? Sort of getting horses on the ground. I guess you've got to get them in the stable, yes. But what does from now until starting look like?
Well, I think, as you said, it's going to be quite a lot of networking. Obviously, my plan is I'd like to be here from around about June. I just feel that we'll need a little bit of time to get to know the horses and get to know the tracks properly, and obviously get ready for when the new season opens in September.
Great to hear there from Brett Crawford, Nick, and seems a very likeable guy from what you witnessed this morning, and he's got a great racing pedigree with many years under his belt, and it's just, as we've seen from Mark Newnham, Jamie Richards, David Eustace, it just takes them that little bit of time to find their feet through those opening weeks of the season.
It does, look, and it's like, for as great a CV as that is, obviously, he's had 38 Group 1 winners, 1,500 winners and counting. Obviously, when you come to Hong Kong, you start from zero. It's as simple as that. But look, he's got all the experience. He's a meticulous trainer, Paul. From what I've read and my research, he leaves no stone unturned. And, from what I could gather talking to him this morning, I think he'll make a good fist of things here. Yeah,
look, he's got a little bit of a head start with Karis Teeton there as well, because obviously Karis was a stable jockey. They had a lot of success with a horse called Jackson, won the 2012 Cape Derby amongst other races, and he was sort of the best horse of his year. So him and Karis have really got a really good partnership. He knows Karis well, so I'm sure he's going to really sort of lean on him a lot.
Yeah, well, speaking of Karis, let's hear from Karis about one of his former teammates he used to team up with, of course, in South Africa.
Karis, Brett Crawford, a new name added to the trainers list here in Hong Kong. You've got a bit of an association with Brett going back to your days in South Africa. Just enlighten us a bit more on the man that is Brett Crawford.
Yeah, it's a great news, right? It's an exciting time for him. I'm sure it's a great opportunity he's got. But yeah, I mean, before I left South Africa, came to Hong Kong, I was stable jockey for him for a couple of years, and we had a great relationship together. Won a lot of races together. So, I mean, it's gonna be nice for him to be here, and as I've known him pretty well, so it's gonna be interesting.
You obviously know him a lot better than some of us, but having done my bit of research, he seems like a very sort of meticulous type of trainer, one that sort of likes to plan out a route for a horse and certainly leaves no stone unturned.
Yeah, he's well, I've learned a lot from him. He's a very hard-working guy. We work a lot when we were back together there. He really sort of, understand his horses, and he really take care of them pretty well. So, like I said, it's gonna be a new challenge for him, and in my experience, what I've seen, I think, he's gonna be capable of this challenge because he's he's got a lot of racing experience.
I'm sure you'll be putting your hand up to renew that professional relationship here, I suppose. Obviously, once the stable's built up, etc., you'll be wanting to work closely with him, I'm sure.
Well, that would be nice. It's you never know what will happen in the future, but like I said before, we had a good relationship before in South Africa, and I think if I could get a chance to work with him again, I would take it with both hands.
Great to hear there from Karis Teeton re Brett Crawford. Paul, the current state of the Trainers' Championship here at the moment, I think there's only 11 wins maybe between the top 12. So at the halfway mark, which we are at this weekend, it's wide open.
It is, isn't it? Very competitive at the top there. I think John Size can just about win it. He had that slow start and now he's just rocketed it up, and he's got the momentum going at the moment.
He certainly has, hasn't he? And obviously he's no stranger to winning Trainers' Premierships here, of course. He's got a whole host of them already. So, yeah, look, horses are running well and it's all heating up quite nicely, Tom.
Certainly is, and you get to that point of the season where some of the horses that have raced already just need a little bit of a freshen up. But you look at the likes of David Eustace, Mark Newton, they've still got a lot of new horses rated 52 in their stable and PPs that we haven't seen yet too.
Yeah, and that's always key, isn't it? I mean, you need to continually replenish your stock, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's good. And as you say, they've had this plan where they've kept these horses to the back end of the season.
Yep, so officially halfway this weekend through the Hong Kong 2024-25 racing season. Plenty more to come here on Racing to Win. We highlight the TVB Cup, which is the main event on Sunday at Sha Tin, along with the last run reminder, the best bets, all coming up right after the break here on Racing to Win. Welcome back to Racing to Win. We're about to preview the TVB Cup, but before we get into that for our Sunday card at Sha Tin, it's time for the last run reminder. Paul, where are we going this week?
Going to go into race 9. It's a good race, this one. It's an 1800 metre race. Legend St Paul's. We're going to have a look at how unlucky this horse was. Now, it was his fifth start, in fact, and it was his first start up in Class 3. He didn't get a run, basically, the whole way down the straight. He wasn't tested at all. They went slow. He was in behind, and as you can see, he's still looking for a run. He doesn't get out until the race is all over. So he was absolutely bolting in behind. He comes in this with a light weight. What this shows is he's definitely up to a Class 3 win. I've got no doubt whatsoever. Here's a better view on it head on. You can see the jockey just doesn't move on this horse whatsoever. So any sort of clear run, you would have seen some good acceleration, I'm sure there. This is the one where New Future folks sort of stole it from the front. There's just no run there at all.
Yeah, there's a few horses coming out of that race as well, packing Turbine next to him. And Thrall back on the rail there as well. You've got Silvery Breeze out widest, so be interested to see how the form stacks up out of that race. Race 9, number 14, Legend St Paul's, the last run reminder. Let's have a look at the field for the TVB Cup, which is a Class 1 over the 1200 metres as race number 8 with Taj Dragon. All the wins for Taj Dragon have been at 1400 metres. Raging Blizzard has won his last 2 starts. Co-partner Prance back with Zach Purton on board. Lucky with You, a significant downgrade for him into Class 1 from Group 1. So too for Magic Control. Gorgeous winner last start winner. All the wins with Zach Purton on board, but Vincent Ho this week. Son Pak Fu has been a last time out. And you've got Harmony and Blessed down towards the bottom. Looking at the speed map here, Paul, is he a candidate to lead Harmony and Blessed?
Yeah, look, he is. I think he's just going to go on with it. He's drawn the outside gate 8, so I think he can lead over 1,000, no problems. He hasn't led his last couple, but I think Karis will just be really positive with him and go forward. Co-partner Prance is, he could lead as well, but I'm sure Zach will be more than happy to take a trail with him. Magic Control, he can just sort of sit on the outside. Gorgeous Wind can get a nice enough run, and then I think the others will just go back. Raging Blizzard's been racing well when he goes back.
Well, speaking of Raging Blizzard, he is a last start winner. In fact, he's won his last 2. The form has been franked from his last win with Gorgeous Wind tasting success. Let's hear what Hugh Bowman had to say to Nick on Friday morning down at the track.
Hugh Bowman, it's the TVB Cup coming up this weekend, and that is race 8. You've got the ride on Raging Blizzard once again, who did a pretty good job in winning last time.
Well, his last 2 runs he's won with authority, and he's a horse that does enjoy coming off the back of extreme speed, and I'm not sure whether the pace looks quite as hectic as it maybe was for his last outing, but it still will be quick enough for him to find his comfortable running position. And he obviously, like you said, he won with authority last time, and I'd like to think he's going to the race with the same sort of form.
Given that you mentioned that here, obviously that he takes aim off at a good pace. He looks like a horse that you can sort of pick and choose your spots, and he has got that ready turn of foot, hasn't he?
Well, you've got to leave him alone early. So it's not really a case of picking and choosing your spots, but if they go quick enough up front, he's got an excellent finish on him, and the gaps do appear if they've gone fast. So look, there's enough pace horses in it for a genuine gallop, of course, but last time was especially fast, the opposition, so let's hope they do the same thing.
He's tackling a Class 1 race now. Obviously, it does get that bit tougher, but I mean, the race he won last time was up to 105, so he's into triple figures. I mean, he's certainly a horse going the right way, isn't he?
Oh, his form's there for everyone to see, and his last 2 wins have been really authoritative, and let's hope he can do it again.
I think one of the positives as well for him, Paul, is he's carrying the same weight as last time with the conditions of the race, so 110 to 85. So I think he still actually gets in quite okay here.
No, he does. Yeah, definitely does. I mean, he's at an all-time high rating now of 104, but he deserves that with those last 2 wins. They've both been good. Yeah, the key for him, I think, is, as you said in that interview, was just what sort of pace he's going to get in the race.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think it certainly suits him, doesn't it? I don't think this is much deeper than what he won last time, to be fair.
No, I believe to be the case there as well for Raging Blizzard. Taj Dragon now, we're having a look at his last start performance, Nick, and he ran 6th, of course, in the Chinese Club Challenge Cup. This was a Group 3 race. Now, Green and White has since come out and won the Chinese New Year Cup. I didn't mind the trial coming into this, but my little worry is 1,200 metres. He's been a 1,400 metre horse all through his career here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's a proper dyed-in-the-wall 7-furlong horse, isn't he, this fellow? And look, either side of that sort of distance, not to say he can't perform, but he's 0 from 4, no placings at this trip. So that certainly has to be a concern, Paul. And
the big weight. He's got to give away weight to all these other horses. He's not really in good form at the moment. He is down to his last winning rating, but when he did win off that rating, he had an apprentice claim as well. So look, it just worries me here over the 12.
Mentioned the trial before. Here it is. He was back in the field here, and I thought he ran on quite okay. Of course, I think you've got Pray for Mir up front in this recent barrier trial. A Low Rider who's going around again. Co-partner Prance. What did we make of the co-partner Prance trial, Nick?
Look, it wasn't the worst, I don't think. Co-partner Prance, look, he's just gone through the motions, really. He's a plenty fit enough horse. He's coming up for his 6th round of the season, so look, he's interesting. Was that going back on?
Yeah, he's going to get a good run, I think, just in behind the speed too, so he's definitely going to get his opportunity.
He's already won this season. Of course, he had 6 wins next to his name last season, did co-partner Prance. Coming out of the Centenary Sprint Cup is Magic Control and Lucky With You. Are you keen this week, Paul, on Lucky With You? He's taking a significant drop back in grade. And what about Magic Control? I'm not totally convinced yet about him at 1,200.
No, am I. So he doesn't go in for me, Magic Control, for that reason. I do like Lucky With You. He's run 2nd off a rating similar here when he went right up when he was 2nd in that group race, international sprint. So he's more than capable on his day, and he's going to find this a lot easier.
Yeah, look, I tend to agree fully, and I think that's the point in question, is that he is dropping grade, which is perhaps a big thing for him, and also he's got some good runs in top line Group 1. So of the 2, I'd have him over Magic Control. Yeah,
he's actually still about 14 pounds higher than his last win too. Is Lucky With You? Has track work been satisfactory, Nick?
Yeah. Yeah, it has been. Sorry, no, yeah, I've been watching this. No, his track work has been good, and you can see him going nicely there. Sorry, Nick.
Not much more to add. Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, we have the track work report on Lucky With You. Having a look here at Luke Ferraris, who does ride, of course, for Frankie Law. He's had a magnificent last 10 meetings, Nick.
Yeah, look, it's going great for Luke. Look, he's a talent, that's for sure. He's a wise head on young shoulders, I think, and he's having a great time of things. And here, a look at his ride. He's got Lapras in the first there, the Class 5. Lucky Sam Gore, I thought, trialled okay. Interesting newcomer there. Metro Warrior could be well handicapped on his best. He's got Fashion Legend as well there, Paul. So he's always getting plenty of support and some nice rides towards the back end.
I don't mind Eris Nova at a price too. I think he can run well. He was a bit unlucky last time, and Lucky With You in the big one. Keithy made him the long shot last time. It was a bit disappointing.
Very hard to get, isn't he?
Yeah, so I don't know where he's at.
We had the Trainers Premiership on earlier. Let's have a look at the Jockeys Championship. There's no change of the guard at the top, Paul, with Zach Purton, who's careered right away. But interesting with Luke Ferraris right up there. Matthew Poon, you can see their first 3 strike rates there as well. And Matthew Poon off a double midweek as well.
He rode really. He's riding really well at the moment, Matthew. And it was Fortune Whiskey. It was a good win from him coming from the back. And Karis Teaton not in the top 4, which we normally see there, but he's not too far away on 20 wins.
Yeah, he's having a slightly quieter season, isn't he? But what's extraordinary is Zach over 50% top 3.
Yeah, unbelievable. So one of his best ever seasons. He's right on track to rack up a massive haul of wins again this season. Bohemia Sprint Trophy, this is where we see Magic Control, Paul, to his best effect here. Where he ran well and he was right in the market to suggest he was going to, but he was just beaten Harmony and Blessed through this as well. But I really think at this point we need to see Magic Control back at 1,000, but those opportunities are few and far between. Yeah,
like a 2-time winner over the 1,000. He only ran one over the 1,200. That was in the Group 1 last start where he ran 6. So, yeah, I'd prefer him over 1,000.
Yeah, I remember interviewing Tony Cruz after that race was run the year prior when WizKid won it, and he made the exact same point. But the horse rated like them that highly, they're hard to place.
Last replay to a look at, it is Gorgeous Win. And I don't think there's a lot between Gorgeous Win here, Nick, and also at the top, Raging Blizzard here. Does it worry you that Purton's not on this week? Obviously, he's got 123 pounds, and all of his wins have been with Zach Purton on board. He seems to be able to get the best out of this horse.
Yeah, he does indeed, and he's a capable horse. Obviously, Vincent Ho taking over, certainly no detriment there as far as the substitute rider's concerned. I mean, Raging Blizzard's beaten him a couple of times. The latest of them was a close margin. He's come out and franked the form now for Raging Blizzard. So their form is strong, and he's a capable horse. So rule him out at your peril, Paul.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I've got him in, but he's just going to get back a bit. He takes a while to wind up.
We saw that in that replay there. He's actually £1 worse off with Raging Blizzard as well. Selections, Paul, for the TVB Cup.
I'm going to go with the downgrader, Lucky With You. I think he can bounce back in this, and he should be a decent price as well. Co-partner Pranskin sits right behind the pace. Raging Blizzard, just a bit worried about what sort of speed they're going to get for him, but he's in good form at the moment. And Gorgeous Win there in 4th. 4-3-2-6.
Yeah, I went with Raging Blizzard here. Hopefully he does get that speed he requires. I think they will go quick enough in a race of this nature. They're good horses and usually will roll along a bit. So he goes on top. Co-partner Prance, I think, will be his biggest danger. With Zach going back on board him. Lucky With You can certainly give him a chance for sure, dropping back in grade. And Gorgeous Win in good form, obviously has form with the selection as well. 2, 3, 4, 6 for me.
Those are the selections for the TVB Cup, the feature on the 11 race card at Sharton on Sunday. It's come to that time of the show where we're looking for the best, the value and the play, Paul.
And wait till the lucky last here with a horse called Sky Trust. He's drawn ideally here in barrier number 1. He drew wide in this race, and I really like the way he's got a really good turn of foot, this horse. He finished off really strongly, and it was a really nice run from him. Couldn't quite pick up the winner, but you can see him eking into the ground there at the end. So I like Sky Trust there coming up. And the value we're going to make Eris Nova. A little bit unlucky last time. Race 7, number 2. Luke Ferraris aboard. As far as the play of the day, we're going to do in race number 10 with Hong Lock Golf, Call Me Gorgeous, and also Triumphant Moore.
Yeah, best bet for me coming up on Sunday. Race to number 4, Honglock Golf. He's won 2 races so far. He's only had the 2 runs and he's looked mightily impressive in both of them. And the value, I think we'll get a half-decent price about this fellow in the last. Solid Impact, number 8. Some good horses in it. He might go around at decent odds. And the play, race 7, numbers 2, 7 and 12.
Best bet for me comes up as a first starter in race 5. Number 3, Autumn Vibes for Jamie Richards. He unleashed a first starter last weekend and it won here to win a midweek. Enthralled, not the worst in race 9. Number 9 for Antoine Hamlin and John Size having his second start. And the play with Lowrider, Silvery Breeze and Enthralled coming up in race number 9. Time to have a look at the diary in terms of what we've got coming up over the next 7 days here in Hong Kong. And we've got the TVB Cup, of course, 11 races Sunday. A compelling all-weather meeting coming up at midweek. We've got 9 races there and, of course, back to Sharton for another 11 race card next Sunday. But, yep, something for everyone, Paul.
Yeah, early start too with those 9 races, so don't forget that on Wednesday night at Sharton.
Yeah, plenty of action here, so might as well stay up here, Tom, eh?
Indeed, plenty to look forward to over the next 7 days. On behalf of Paul, Nick and the rest of the team, we look forward to your company at Sharton on Sunday afternoon for a 12:30 start.